And welcome back in, everybody, for the Diamond Prospects 2025 Palmetto Games. We are getting set for Game 2, which features the Southeast, the Gold Team, coached by Will McMillan, who coaches at Sumter, facing off against Team Southwest, the Orange Team, coached by Skylar Hunter from Hanahan High School. On the mound, taking his warm-up tosses, number 23 in today's game, Charles Becker, big right-handed pitcher from James Island High School, the 2027 right-handed pitcher, will begin the game here. Game 1 featured the Mid-East versus the Midwest and was a pretty good game offensively. There's the best talent from the state of South Carolina here at the Palmetto Games year in and year out. Austin Alexander is letting me, this is Trey Dyson, and alongside my partner Banks Faller, call the action here. So this first year we're actually doing the live stream. So we're working through some kinks, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it at home. And we are about to get underway here. Becker delivers first pitch fastball there to Sawyer Smith from North Myrtle Beach High School, leading off for Team Southeast. 0-1 count. Another perfectly located fastball in the outer half. And Smith is in an 0-2 hole. That came in at 86 miles an hour. Smith, a 2026 shortstop from North Myrtle Beach. Here comes the 0-2. Taken up and out of the zone. Here comes the 1-2. And that's a good little all-speed pitch there. Nice stop there, back there from the backstop. So Smith is retired via the strikeout. And a good start there for Charles Becker. Coming up here for Team Gold, Logan Newcomb, Atlantic Collegiate, and he is committed to Coastal Carolina. Man, Coastal Carolina had an outstanding year. One of the best programs in the state of South Carolina. And Newcomb will be taking his talents there. Here comes the pitch. And once again, poured in there for a strike. So Becker pounding the strike zone here early. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball, fouled away. We were joined in the booth by Coach Brian Hucks, the head coach from Lexington High School in Game 1, along with Palmetto Games MVP from a couple years back, Alex Myers from Blythewood High School. We hope to bring in a lot of guests throughout the course of the weekend. So far, the weather has been perfect here at Riley Park here in Sumter, South Carolina. This breaking ball is sat on and waited on very nicely. Put a good swing on it. That's going to be a fly ball out there to left field. We talked about it a lot in the first game. Kind of a big field. The ball is not traveling the best, especially out there to left field, but a pretty decent barrel there from Logan Newcomb with nothing to show for it. And here comes A.J. Jefferson from Lugoff Elgin High School. He will be going to play for Chad Holbrook at the College of Charleston. 2026 shortstop, third baseman. Really like Becker's mound presence out there. He is in command of that mound, pounding the strike zone. You see him start off Jefferson there with a breaking ball. So he's got command of 2 pitches here early. Becker is not committed anywhere as of the moment. Plenty of scouts on hand here watching him pitch today. And that was another good breaking ball there. And you can see he's gotten a couple of swings and misses on some pitches out of the zone. That swing and miss stuff, very important in today's game. Here comes the 0-2. Down and away. You can see Jefferson scooting up there with 2 strikes on top of the plate. We've seen that a bunch today from these hitters. Get right on top of the plate with 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2, and that looked pretty good from up here, but maybe a bit inside, so evens the count up 2-2. Charles Becker, right-handed pitcher. And a dominant first inning from Charles Becker as he retires the side in order, getting Jefferson to strike out there. So outstanding effort from Charles Becker. That'll do it for the top half of the first inning. We'll be back here shortly to tell you all about the pitcher. And welcome back in, everybody, as Team Gold, the Southeast team, is set to take the field. And on the mound, big lefty, number 21 out of North Myrtle Beach High School. This will be Gabriel Priest. He just finished his warm-up pitches and into the box for Team Southwest, Sterling Coaxum out of P27 Academy. And he wears one off the left and off the back. And I'm sorry, folks, if I'm mispronouncing names up here. We're doing the best we can here. First year doing the broadcast, the live broadcast here for the Palmetto games.
Hudson Clark. That was Hudson Clark.
And that was Hudson Clark. I do apologize, from Berkeley High School. The left-handed batter who found his way on base via the hit by pitch. This is Banks Wickersham from Fort Dorchester High School. Good-looking athlete. Takes a swing and a miss right there.
Yeah, Wickersham Trey is committed to College of Charleston, one of the best two-way players in the state. I think the question with him is, does he stay behind the plate or does he switch to just being a pitcher? That'll probably give him a chance to do both. And there, Hudson Clark, baseball player, dirt sort of a dirt bag, so to speak. Uniform's always dirty. Plays for a really good program, and he sort of exemplifies what Landy Cox does down there at Berkeley.
Wickersham, another swing and miss. Yeah, good to see these guys taking off there early. First game, not super aggressive on the bases. Hudson Clark gets us started here with a good Reed off the lefty for a stolen base. Here comes Wickersham and a 2-strike count. Good job fouling that one off. So congratulations to Banks Wickersham on his commitment to College of Charleston. This is Trey Dyson, the voice you heard earlier, Banks Faulkner. And this pitch a little bit up and out of the zone. It looked like 3 swings and misses there from Wickersham as Gabriel Priest with a strikeout there. So 1 out, and coming up for Team Orange, Hudson Sprovero out of Hanahan High School.
He's got an older brother that I believe is at the Citadel, if I'm saying it, or played at the Citadel. I could be a little wrong on that, but Hudson's from Hanahan High School. Their coach, Skylar Hunter, who was also a Citadel grad, played some professional ball, was a catcher in high school that turned into more of a pitcher at the next level.
Yeah, right there, just one of the best plays in baseball right there. The inside move should be outlawed. It's still allowed. And what a perfect time right there from Gabriel Priest to gun down Hudson Clark with the inside move.
Yeah, that's how you neutralize a running game, just by showing it. And you got a guy out there that's itching to try to get to third with 1 out, and the inside move takes care of him.
Like a little change up there, maybe? 1-1 count here. Yeah, Skylar Hunter, you were talking about him from the Citadel. I think he's the all-time saves leader there.
Yeah, he could be. He's transitioned into being a coach. I think this is going to be his 3rd or 4th year as the head coach down there. He's done a very nice job. Always has good players. And I'm sure his group will be right back in the thick of it next year.
And I think he got hit right there, but they're going to let him stay in the box. This is a showcase type event, so we are playing baseball rules, but I guess certain things can go. He wants to showcase his hitting tool. Good outside fastball right there, coming in at 87 miles an hour for Gabriel Priest, a lefty from North Myrtle Beach. That looked like that hit him too. Maybe not. He's getting down the line. It's Rivera with the walk. So 1 on here with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Jose Dubron from P27 Academy.
Yeah, Jose's got big time juice, just reclassified. Now an uncommitted player, 2027. Corner infielder.
Good pitch there.
The one thing Jose is going to do is he is going to make you throw the ball over the plate. There's not a lot of chase in there, and that usually, Trey, is indicative of a guy that's going to hit past high school.
Ooh, yeah, that one is very late on, fouled over there. But, yeah, you're so right. These guys, especially the higher up you go, and with these pitchers being so nasty with swing and miss type stuff, guys with discipline, guys that don't strike out much are becoming more rare, especially guys who don't strike out that have some power. Those guys are valuable. We'll see how he does in this 2-strike count. Good inside fastball right there. Just missed a little off the plate. Maybe a lot off the plate. So here comes the 1-2. There goes the runner, but that will be strike three. So Gabriel Priest, good little outing here to retire the side. So after one complete, we are scoreless here at Riley Park here in Sumter, South Carolina, the 2025 Diamond Prospects Palmetto Games. We will be right back shortly. Welcome back, everybody. We are set for the second inning here as Charles Becker begins his second inning of work, facing Christian Galasso, Waccamaw High School. Trey Dyson here alongside Banks Faulkner. Welcome into the broadcast, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. We are enjoying a wonderful Saturday here at the Palmetto Games. Some of the best players across the state of South Carolina showcasing their skills in front of all these college scouts, and there's some professional scouts here as well. Good breaking ball there.
This is a little bit of what we talked about with the McLaughlin kid last game from Gilbert, a little bit of a crossfire action here.
Yeah, McLaughlin very good in that first game from Gilbert High School. Very impressive. Back-to-back breaking balls for strikes here from Charles Becker. Makes it hard on a hitter when you're consistently in 0-1, 0-2 counts. Another good breaking ball. You got a couple swings and misses on that exact pitch there in the first inning, Banks.
Yeah, I think that little crossfire action feels like the ball's right on top of you, and I think it can help guys maybe stay through that slider just a little bit more.
And there it is again. He's loving that pitch. And rightfully so. I mean, if you're going to keep getting swings like that on it, why throw anything else?
Yeah, I got to agree. Might be able to sneak a fastball by him here.
And he tried to do just that. Got a really quick arm. That one came in at 85 miles an hour outside the zone. So 2-2 count here. I'll tell you, Becker loves shaking off.
That can mess with a hitter.
It definitely can. 2-2 gets a good little fastball right there. Got one to hit, but when you're throwing all those breaking pitches for strikes, it makes it hard on the hitter, and that's going to be a easy fly ball to start off the top of the second inning as Dubront puts it away.
There's There's an old saying, Trey, that hitting's about timing and pitching's about disrupting timing, and that's what he's doing there, and just slows the guy down. And now that 85 probably plays up 88, 89, and guy just can't get the barrel to it.
And here comes Mike Johnson from Georgetown High School. Good fastball, well-located fastball.
Good bloodlines here. His dad, Mike Sr., played at Clemson. Played against you, I believe.
Yeah, terrorized me.
Left-handed, yeah, he terrorized the Gamecocks. He was a Gamecock killer. His son's a chip off the old block. His granddad, I guess he would be Mike the Third. Dad Mike Jr., but his granddad Mike Sr., longtime baseball coach at Georgetown High. Hope Coach is doing well. Probably tuned in watching his grandson.
And once again, Becker is in an 0-2 count here against Mike Johnson. Good piece of hitting right there. Gets the barrel on it out to right center field. Good jump out there by the center fielder. Maybe not the best angle in the world. I think he thought it was going to travel further than it did. It kind of died on him, but good adjustment out there to get the out. And a nice job of two-strike hitting there from Johnson. That'll bring up Jaden Atkinson, Hartsville High School, to face Becker. Becker has just pounded the zone here early. Nice play out there by the center fielder. And, folks, this ball is spanked over there to the second baseman. And just like that, Becker's work here is done here. So a very, very good, efficient 2 innings of work from the right-hander from James Allen High School. We're through 1.5. We will be back shortly. And welcome back in, everyone. Gabriel Priest set to start his second inning of work against Sterling Coaxum from P27 Academy. A Clemson commit takes one for a strike right there. And I believe Coaxum made that nice play in center field last half inning.
Did, yeah. Elite run tool. I would take a guess and say he's probably the best runner at this event.
Here comes the 1-1 to Coaxum. Good swing right there, but off the end of the bat and misplayed out there by second base, and you weren't lying. He got down the line extremely fast. Probably put some pressure on him right there, caused the little error. So runner on first here for Team Orange. That's going to bring up Connor Dantzler from James Island High School, left-handed batter. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see Coaxum run here. First pitch, hit batter. That is the second or third batter that Priest has done already through his short time here. So he certainly has some great stuff, but a little erratic here early. That's going to bring up Sam Middleton from Hilton Head Prep, 2028 shortstop, young player. First and second, Coach Faulkner, what are you doing here? If this is a real game, if this is a real regular season game, you bunting here, you letting them hit, nobody out.
We got to try to bunt for a hit, I think, especially with the third baseman way behind the bat.
And certainly not going to be bunting, most likely in a all-star game, although the bunt is making a comeback.
Yeah, the pitching's so good. I think you've got to try to score runs when you can.
And I like what you said there, too. Nice stop back there. You know, bunt for a hit is different than a sacrifice bunt. You know, you give yourself a better chance to create a little bit more chaos and not necessary. With the way these guys throw nowadays, sacrifice bunting to me is harder than base hit bunting. Maybe not for everybody, but.
Yeah, I call it a dragifice, you know, sort of like a.
Dragifice. This ball's chopped over the right side and a little bit of miscommunication. A good play by the first baseman. There's that speed on display from Coaxum. He gets a safe call. And what a play right there from Coaxum. Good play by the first baseman. Priest was not covering on that slow chopper. And Coaxum rounded third really aggressively. The first baseman made a nice play. A little erratic throw over there at third base. Third baseman made a nice adjustment. I thought he made a pretty good throw there home, but Coaxum was called safe.
I thought so, too.
There's a good fastball right there. What an outstanding play right there by the right fielder. This is going to be a double. Wait a second. He called him safe. Pretty sure he was out right there. I don't know if we can do video replay over there, but what an unbelievable play right there. Great awareness from Jaden Atkinson out there from Hartsville High School. Really good swing. Who was that? Who was that hit the ball? I don't even know. Was that Brody Tudhill from Ashley Ridge?
It was.
It has a good swing, but just a better play out there from Atkinson. Should have been a double play. Must not have been on the bag. There's a pitch on the outer half. Maybe a ball or two off the plate. That has been called a strike today. This is Finn Pratt from James Island. And another ball hit over the right side. This one's going to get down foul territory. But Atkinson, you see that hustle out there? He's covering a lot of ground out there.
Yeah, those guys from Hartsville, they've churned out good ones over the years, and he looks to be the latest in a long line of players out of Hartsville.
Yeah, Cam Canarella. Yes, Cam Canarella just drafted. What an outstanding outfielder and just a fun player to watch he was for Clemson over the past few years.
Yeah, I think Cam will play the game for quite a while.
Another inside move there from Gabriel Priest. So runners on first and second, one out here. Bottom of the second inning. The Southwest team leads it 1-0 thanks to the legs of Sterling Coaxum. Reached on an error, came around to score on a ball that went about 60 feet from the hitter. A ball's up and out of the zone, so Finn Pratt finds himself in a full count here. This ball's pounded over to the right side. Good play from the first baseman. Good turn right there, getting the lead runner. And so there'll be 2 outs here. And the bottom of the second, up to the plate for the Southwest, Charlie Johnson, Oceanside Collegiate. Get a chance to drive in a run here. Good pitch, well-located fastball in the outer half. Gets ahead 0-1.
Trey, one little coaching point I'd like to make is runner at third base right here. You got third baseman playing well behind the bag. Left-handed pitcher on the mound with his back turned to you. I'd like to see the runner at third get a lot more of a primary lead there. So anything that gets away from the catcher, he's got a chance to score on here with 2 outs.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily, in these situations, especially with 2 outs, it doesn't necessarily need to be a pass ball or a wild pitch, something that gets very far away from the catcher if you've got a good heady runner over there at third base.
Yeah, to me, if it gets outside the circle, he should be able to score.
Here comes the 1-2. That looked like pretty good from up here, maybe a little up. Yeah, that's definitely up and out of the zone. But I would say that the high strike is becoming a thing again, which I'm a huge fan of.
Definitely in college baseball. I think in high school it, obviously varies a little bit from umpire to umpire, but
I think it's definitely trickling its way back down to the lower levels. And when you have a high strike, you have the ability to bring the curveball back into the game to a greater degree, and starting to see guys with more curveballs. Curveball went away for about 20 years there, it felt like.
It did. I mean, like you said, it's going to allow you to have a pitch to tunnel the curveball off of, that pitch up in the zone. With all the advanced metrics now, sort of showing pitchers their best avenue for success, you're definitely seeing more of it than you did, when maybe 10 years ago you were hearing everybody say work down. Now it's some guys work up.
Yeah. Yeah, there are even guys that are throwing sinker balls up in the zone.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of it is, for pitchers is trial and error, seeing what maybe plays for them. So if you're a pitcher out there listening, I would recommend you, let your pitches play to hitters, maybe in inter squads, live ABs, and see how they react to them. That's, to me, more valuable than anything a TrackMan is going to show you.
Absolutely. Yeah, Charlie Johnson draws a walk there. And that is going to bring up Henry Rivers from Berkeley.
Yeah, you'll like this arm, Trey. This is one of the best athletes at this event. He's a really good high school quarterback, runs like a deer, and you'll love the arm. It's electric.
As he takes a strike right there. So 0-1 count. We've seen a bunch of action, a bunch of base runners here so far in these first 2 games, but haven't gotten a really big hit with the bases loaded or with runners on base, and Rivers finds himself in an 0-2 count. This one is fouled back. A good fastball there, 86. So Priest going right after him here in this 0-2 count.
What's your thought there, Coach? Do do you maybe, I don't want to say you waste pitches, but do you maybe try to get him to chase out the zone here, or are you going right at him?
Yeah, I like the idea of trying to throw a breaking pitch or something down out of the zone, but Priest he's been a little erratic with his command, a couple of hit by pitches, so he must be feeling the fastball here. He's just trying to go right after him. If he locates something inside, I think he can freeze him. But there's that little off-speed pitch. So good swing and miss right there from Priest. Catcher, good awareness tag and home plate. And Priest gets out of a big jam there. So a nice job of pitching around trouble for the North Myrtle Beach lefty. And through 2 innings, the Southwest leads at 1-0. We will be right back here shortly.
All right, we're back. This is Banks Faulkner. Trey had to step out for a second, so I'll be covering it till he gets back. Elijah Flatt, new pitcher in the game from P27 Academy, transferring in from Northwoods High School down in Charleston. Flashes an 85 on the first pitch. Elijah's older brother, Danny Flatt, is a pitcher in the Yankees organization. So a right-hander. Elijah comes from the left side, up to 86 there. Young arm that I think's got a lot of promise. Yeah, Flatt a little trouble finding the zone early. Dorenzo here just recently committed to Clemson. First baseman out of St. James High School.
Three one count here to Dorenzo. Gotta be trying to hit a home run right here in this All-Star game. Taking low for a ball. So now we are joined. Dale Nelson.
What's up, Trey?
How are you? Welcome into the broadcast. Tell us what's been going on.
Oh, nothing, man. Just getting ready to start back school. And kids come back Monday. It's time to get it all over again. Start a new year.
All right, who's in here batting folks. This is Luke Kessler from St. James gets pelted right there. So Flat working into some trouble here. Coach, tell everyone at home what you've been up to.
I got out of coaching at 22 to be the AD at Hillcrest, and currently serving in that role. And I took a turn to the bad side, started umpiring a little bit, and got into high school umpiring, do a little college in the fall, and just finished up American Legion this summer. And that's about it, man. Just trying to stay around the game a little bit.
Excellent, excellent. This is Gatlin Pasco in the box from Carolina Forest.
Coach, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. What have you taken with you? Obviously, a long career coaching, highly successful coach, one of the good guys in the business. We sure miss you on the diamond, but glad you're staying involved. What have you maybe taken from your coaching experience that helps you in your new role as an umpire?
Well, I think the one thing I probably missed the boat on early in my career was really about relationships. I think sometimes we get caught up as coaches in the wins and losses, which we all want to win, obviously. But I think the most fulfilling years of my career were at the end when I really quit worrying about my record as much as I cared about the relationships I built with my players. And those things last a lifetime. Where wins and losses, people forget which game you won, which game you lost. But the relationship part of it, man, some of my guys that I keep up with the most and talk to and see and text, and you go to weddings, you go to they let you know when they have kids, and that's probably the most fulfilling part. And you flip it to the umpiring side. I have a good relationship with most coaches, and I think it makes my job a little bit easier when I'm umpiring. Is they understand that my role might be different, but I'm still the same guy, and I'm going to give my best effort and hustle. And I'm not going to get every call right, but I'm trying to be in position every time to get the call right. And it's helped along the way. I had really no issues in 3 years. It's been really fun, and I really felt like there was a need for umpires when I was coaching. I didn't feel like we had a ton of guys that were quality guys who really got what – I understand how hard coaches work day to day. And so having that role as an umpire, they're going to be upset at times, and they're going to be passionate, and they're going to fight for their kids. And it's not personal. It's just they're competitive.
And Pasco with a great job of hitting right there. A good base hit. Drives in a run. So good competitive at bat right there from Gatlin Pasco with a single and an RBI. Continue, Coach, please.
No, that's pretty much it, man. The relationship part of it, baseball is one big family, regardless of what role you're doing, what role you're participating in the game. And it's like a big brotherhood. I still love to come to this event and be around all the baseball guys. And it's a weekend, you get to be around a lot of college coaches, high school guys, good players, best players in the state for the most part. And, baseball gave me so much of my life. I'm joking the other day that this will be year 31 for me, and I don't really have another skill set. I've been in education for 31 years, and baseball is really the only thing I know. So you want to develop those relationships and foster those relationships, and just enjoy being around guys that are like-minded.
And there goes Pesco, stolen base. So an RBI single and a stolen base. Up to bat now, right-handed batter Brewer Cannon from Conway High School. And we are joined right now with Dale Nelson. We hope to bring you lots of guests throughout the weekend. We're going to get Casey Bradwell from Airport High School to join us here in a moment as well. This ball is fouled away.
Recent state champion coach, Casey Bradwell.
Dude, I was telling me and Banks talked about it earlier. I knew that guy was going to be a good baseball guy from the first time I met him. And he's doing some big things over there at Airport High School for sure.
Well, what was really cool was the way they won it and the style of play. Just a bunch of grinders, and not taking away from their kids. They're very talented, but man, those guys just, when you showed up to the park to play them, you better be ready because they're going to do it in a lot of different ways. And if they're going to small ball you, they're going to play great defense and just throw strikes. And it was really cool to watch. You don't have to have a bunch of five-star type baseball players. You just got to have a bunch of guys who buy in, and he's got a great coaching staff over there, and they were able to get it done. It was really cool.
As Cannon smokes one into right field. Who was that over there in right field?
Coach.
What a throw. unbelievable throw, catch and throw right there from Sterling Coaxum, P27 Academy.
Might not have been Coaxum. I might have missed that one, Trey.
Might have been Rivers.
Yeah.
Okay, Rivers. Yeah, Rivers. You were talking about Rivers earlier and the arm strength that he possessed. So that was on full display right there. And just what the doctor ordered if you're Elijah Flatt from P27 Academy. Flatt has got a good arm, lots of good talent, but kind of struggling here. And a double play like that can certainly turn things around for his outing.
Rivers is a two-sport athlete, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's the quarterback at Berkeley as well. And heard a lot of good things about him, especially I know he's a really good quarterback and done a good job there. And they won the state championship this year in baseball with 5A Division II. And to be honest with you, most people didn't give them a chance early in the season. And he plays for Landy Cox, who does a great job coaching.
Yeah, Landy will always tell you how they're not going to be good, and then you look up at the end of the year and they're right in the thick of it. And I think it's a testament to the job he does year in and year out. You're not going to find a harder working coach than Landy Cox.
They've won it 2 out of the last 4 years, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's my kind of guy, a sandbagger. You know, sandbaggers are typically, guys that are overachievers. So shout out to them on their state championship this year.
I mean, I think at one time, after about 10 games, they had a losing record, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And turned
Yeah,
it around.
their
Just made a run.
first game, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember who they were playing, but I think they were down 7-0 before they got an out, and that's when you're wondering maybe it's going to be one of those years, and they certainly turned it around quickly.
Yeah, good job right there from the catcher as Flatt works his way out of trouble. At bat right there was Anthony Strong from Sherrall High School. And I'm not certain exactly who that catcher was, but really good play, good communication between him and the first baseman. That'll do it for that. Do you know who that was, Coach Nelson?
Is that Spavero? I know he's one of the catchers on that team. Not sure.
It might have been.
It was either Dantzler or Spavero.
It might have been Dantzler. Anyways, it was Dantzler, I believe. So good play, Brady Dantzler there. And
Another state champion, James Allen.
James Island, congratulations to them, state champions.
Yeah, right here on this field.
In a great series, by the way. Might be one of the most competitive series I've
It was, man. It
Incredible.
It
Two
was.
really good baseball teams going at it.
It was, man.
I think two of the 3 games were, one was extra innings, correct? Two games extra innings. That's right.
And for the viewers at home, Banks Faulkner up here in the booth, a coach at Lexington High School. They're discussing the state championship series, and Game 3 was right here at this park, huh?
Yeah, it was, and one of those things where I think having the last at bat is so big in a game like that, and they were fortunate to have it, and excellent baseball team.
Well, somebody's going to lose, but those are probably 2 powerhouse programs in our state. Lexington's always in the mix year in and year out, and James Allen's won it 2 years in a row. Once in 4A, once in Big 5A, and 2 great coaches, 2 great coaching staffs, and I watched all 3 games.
Got a trivia question for y'all.
Okay.
Maybe the audience at home. When is the last time? And the Wildcats almost pulled it off this year, but the streak remains intact. So the question is, when is the last time a team at the highest level or classification, which was 4A until maybe 8-9 years ago, has won back-to-back state championships?
Okay. I'm going to take a gander at this one. I know River Bluff played in it a couple times, but did not win it. I'm going to go way back. Now, I don't think I'm going to be right, but I'm going to be close. Because you're a Lexington guy, I'm going to say it was Lexington High School did it. And
That's incorrect.
it's not.
It's a good guess, but
Was it
Lexington did it 92, 94, but there was a year between.
Okay. Was it Irmo Yellow Jackets?
Another good guess, but you're still, it's a little bit earlier than that, Coach.
All right, right now on the mound, as we ponder this trivia question, on the mound for Team Southeast, Logan Newcomb from Atlantic Collegiate. He is going to Coastal Carolina.
from P27.
Am I saying the wrong name again?
Logan Newcomb is the pitcher, P27 Academy. He is originally from New York.
P27 Academy, Logan Newcomb, Coastal Carolina commit.
I want to go back to this trivia question. It's got me thinking now. I know there's some really good Lancaster teams back in the day, but I think they lost elections in one of those years. They lost to Lawrence one of those years. Man, this is a tough one. I would think Strother Sly had some really good teams that may have won back to back, but would it be the Hartsville or would it be Sumter maybe?
You're close, Coach, but hadn't quite nailed it yet.
Am I in the same part of the area of the state?
You maybe need to think a little bit more towards the coast.
Oh, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it might have been Wando.
It was not Wando.
Man, I'm out of it. If it wasn't James Island, then I don't know who it was.
It was Somerville in 1978 and 79.
Tells you a little bit about parity of baseball in our state.
I think it says it all.
Yeah.
Now, certainly at your lower classifications, you've had recently. You've had AC Flora. They actually won 3 in a row.
Riverside went on a little run there
They
for
did.
a while back in the 90s, 2000s.
Cole Harmon draws a walk to lead off things in the bottom of the third.
Of course, if you go down to the lower levels, Lakeview won several state championships.
Bamberg Earhart.
Bamberg Earhart won a bunch of state championships. James Island won it in back-to-back in different classifications.
They did.
And I'm not sure. I don't know if Oceanside has won it in different classifications. Maybe a different sport.
It's hard to keep up these days with.
Yeah, everybody moves around in classifications.
It does, and they change it every 2 years. So after this coming year, it'll be redone again. And we were talking earlier, Indian Land up there in right outside of Rock Hill, Charlotte area. 10 years ago, very small school, didn't really hear much from them, and they're definitely up and coming, and they got a great coach there, and they've got some really good players. So
I'll tell you a funny story about Indian Land. When I was coaching at Lawrence, I had an assistant that played at South Carolina by the name of Harley Lale. Harley Lale went to Indian Land. They were a 1A school. He wrestled and played baseball, and then ended up playing at SMC in South Carolina, I think. And Trey, were y'all teammates, or was he after you, maybe, Harley?
Oh, Harley was after me. He's younger than me.
Yeah. And now Indian Land is a 5A school, and that's just the growth of area from Charlotte down towards that area. But yeah, they were in the mix this year. I think might have been one of the front runners, I would say, in division. They were in Division 2, correct?
they were, and I wouldn't be surprised next classification if they're in Division 1. I mean, it is a.
Yeah, that's a good point, Banks. I mean, Banks. They came up with a high school league. The executive committee met last week and decided there's going to be 5 classifications. The question will be now is whether it will be divided or not, and I think that's left up to the individual classifications. But
what's your thoughts on that, Coach?
well, being at a 5A school, and I've never not coached at a big school. Like when I was at Lawrence, we were 4A, and that was the highest classification. And in the past, the high school league is only divided for football up until recently. And then when we made the change, we won it in 21 at Hillcrest. It was all in one group. And then the last realignment, they decided to split 5A into 2 classifications. And I think it works 2 ways. There's a big discrepancy in some of the bigger and smaller 1A schools, but there's also a huge discrepancy in 5A schools when you take Dorman and Somerville and some of those schools who, Dorman's pushing 4,000 students, and at Hillcrest we're right around 2,000. So that's a pretty big difference in the number of students. And I'm really all about dividing the classifications just because it gives you a little bit better opportunity to compete for a championship when you're not having to face schools that are twice your size. But that's because I'm at that level. But we, when I was at Hillcrest, we played everybody. We beat Somerville in the state championship and had to beat Dorman in the upper state, and they're both really big schools. So it can be done. And obviously what you said about the highest classification, only being a repeater, last team to do it was Somerville. I think it's a little easier in some sports like baseball to do it, but football makes it really tough when they have 4,000 students to choose from. So I'm a big proponent of splitting But we'll see how that plays out in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, I agree. I think winning a state championship it really doesn't matter how you get it. It's
Exactly.
It's just about the actually winning it, and so I don't think Berkeley High School looked at their title any different just because
No,
maybe they were in
absolutely
Division
not.
Two.
That's just schools. That's like saying the airport, who won it in 4A, is not as good as James Island, who won it in 5A. It still means the same to that community and that school. You beat who you had to beat, and you were the best in your classification. And so, you know, I just think that you just want, basically you want to be able to compete. And I think playing schools like you, size-wise, gives you that opportunity. Competitive balance is the word I think they use a lot. And so I think competitive balance is important.
All right, Coach. Coach Dale Nelson, we thank you for joining us. Logan Newcomb mows them down here in the bottom of the third. We are all tied at 1 apiece here, the 18th annual Palmetto Games. Coach, any parting words before you get out of here?
No, man, appreciate what you guys are doing. This is a little unique. I think it's one of the first times we've done this, if I'm not mistaken, in the Palmetto Games, and it just adds a little bit of something to it. So appreciate what you guys do. Great baseball guys, and I'm sure you're providing some incredible insight for the people out there watching.
We're trying. We're having a hard time. At least I know I'm having a hard time trying to figure out all these players in different positions. I can't tell which catcher has been out there one time the entire tournament so far.
The
So
catcher's thing on the back of the numbers doesn't help with blocking the numbers.
But-
you guys are doing a great job.
okay, thank you, Coach. We appreciate you joining us, and we're going to be set next to join us, Casey Bradwell from Airport High School. So y'all stay tuned, and we will get him in here when we return. And welcome back, everybody. Banks Faulkner, Trade Ison. We are now joined with newly crowned state champion head baseball coach Casey Bradwell as the Palmetto Games continue. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How are y'all?
We are doing good so far. We're having a little trouble keeping up with all the names and everything. Banks, what do you know about this pitcher? Tell the folks at home about this guy.
Yeah, I know a little bit about him. Braxton got to coach him this summer, and he was sort of an unknown kid out of Ashley Ridge High School. Has really only been pitching a year. He was 82, 83 this fall, made a nice little velo jump. Was 85, 86 most of the summer, and has made another jump. He just threw that pitch at 89.
Wow. I think I saw 90. I think I saw 90 up there.
He may have.
There was a breaking ball right there in for Team Gold right now. Newt Hinson from West Florence High School. All right, Coach Bradwell, newly crowned state champion. Let the folks at home know who you are, where you're at, and kind of how you got there.
Yeah, I graduated from Airport in 2006. Went through it for a couple years, and ended up starting coaching at South Point High School for 2.5 years, and came back and went to Airport with Coach Perry, and been there ever since. And he left and went to Coastal 4 years ago now, and I got the head job, and that's where we're at.
And what year is this? This going to be year 3 for you, or year 4?
Year 5.
Year 5. Okay, sorry. Time flies. Time flies, especially the older you get. So year 5. So you're also doubling as the game changer.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to talk and keep up with all these pitches so Double A doesn't yell at me. But yeah.
Double A for those at home, Austin Alexander, who is putting on this event for the 18th straight year. Who's in there batting? I'm supposed to know that. Chowning is up there.
Eli Chowning from he's down on the coast. I think he goes to
Atlantic Collegiate.
Yeah. Good arm too. Lefty, he'll run it up there, upper 80s at times.
Swing and a miss. Wow. 89. So big jump here from Braxton Sharehouse, like you said.
Yeah, he's a twitchy little kid. He's got a fast arm, and I think as he continues to develop physically, I've told him he still looks like a 12-year-old when you look at him in the face. So I think this kid's got a very, very bright future. And like I said, new to pitching. I mean, he was a catcher his whole life, and I think he figured out he wasn't a real good offensive player, so he learned how to pitch, and I think he's showing up well today.
Yeah, more and more kids are kind of specializing a little bit earlier. And if you can't hit, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you got a good arm, you know. Not to say he couldn't hit or anything like that, but going PO early, and he's starting to see those velo gains. So this is Colson Marino, Emerald High School. All right, Coach Bradwell, big state championship this year. Tell us about the team, like the identity of the team, or what made this team so special.
I think Coach Nelson did a pretty good job of talking about what kind of guys we have. We're just a bunch of tough, gritty guys that like to play the game and go to work every day and work really hard. And that's they buy into the being prepared and the weight room and that kind of stuff. And they just they don't care how it gets done, and they just want to win. And that's ball bounced our way a few times, and we got things done.
Yeah, as there's a really nice pitch right there for strike 3 for Surehouse, getting Marino there on strikes. But, I coach with Coach Faulkner up here in the booth at Blythewood High School, and I know about you and your background and how much you're committed to the weight room, as was Coach Faulkner. It seems like a common theme between really successful head coaches is not only like a lot of organization and just being on top of every little thing, but also really committed to the weight room. Yeah. And I know that's a big thing for you and your program.
Yeah, I mean, we started all that 15, 16 years ago, and especially in high school sports, I think a lot of games are won and lost in that weight room. For being more physical than another team gives us a chance, and it equalizes some of the talent gaps and things like that if you have them. That weight room is and it brings your teams together too. They have to grind it out. They have to figure it out together. They have to hold each other accountable, and then that all translates. And so it's hard. It's hard. It's not for the faint of heart. It's you're going to be sore and tired, and you got to be able to work through that. So
Bryce Oliver shoots one through the 5-6 hole. He will get a base hit here. So Team Gold with runners on first and second, and they are in business. Continue, Coach.
I was just saying it transfers to the field just by all the amount of work you have to put in the weight room to be successful in there. It helps you be successful on the field as well.
Who do we have coming up here? This is Turner Scott, Midland Valley, I believe. I could be wrong. Number 21. I am wrong. This is Gabriel Priest, the pitcher for North Myrtle Beach. We will be joined by his head coach here next inning. So Casey Bradwell from Airport High School in the booth with us now. Lots of guests all weekend long here at the 18th Palmetto Games. And how long you been working here for Austin, the Palmetto Games?
On and off, 6 years, 7 years, something like that. I always used to come with Coach Perry early on in my career, and started doing a little more here and there. And then 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago now, doing some things for him. So, yeah.
Surehouse, good little nasty inning from him. Gets the strikeout of Priest, and we are through 3.5. All squared away at 1. Trey Dyson, Banks Faulkner, joined by Casey Bradwell. We will be back shortly. And we're back. Anthony Strong takes the mound for Team Gold. Right-handed pitcher from Sherrall High School. And in the box for Team Orange, left-handed batter, Aiden Cutler from Oceanside Collegiate. Joined by Airport High coach Casey Bradwell. So what was like a memorable moment from this year? Obviously winning the state championship, but is there any moment like throughout the course of the season that you might define as a defining moment?
Defining moment of our year probably was to me, the loss after on senior night. We didn't play real well, and sometimes, as you guys know, sometimes you need that. You know, we had won 13 out of 14 in region play in a really good region, and we were kind of we didn't play real well over spring break. Lost to a good Flora team, lost to a good River Bluff team, and but we weren't playing real well. We weren't swinging it. We weren't executing. We weren't playing really good defense. We were kind of just coasting along, and we ended up losing to a team, Irmo, in the senior night. Just didn't play real well. Kicked it around. Had a double play ball to end the game with a win, and threw it in the right field. And we had that old team meeting, and aired some grievances, and got on the same page. And man, those last 3 or 4 weeks, we kind of look back now, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the way. So sometimes you need that loss to kind of refocus things a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean. As someone who's been involved in a lot of postseason baseball, you never want to really lose, ever. Like, you never want to lose, but sometimes it's good to get a loss in there, especially if you're not playing your best. It's just a kind of a good way to get refocused. You just pray it's not in the postseason.
Yeah, you don't want it to be that late, for sure.
All right, Hudson Clark from Berkeley steps up as Anthony Strong, the right-handed pitcher, gets a strikeout with the first batter he faces, so he's starting out strong. Clark got hit by a pitch his first at bat, then stole a base. This pitch is out of the zone. So 3-0 count here. I'm still waiting for a kid to swing in a 3-0 count here at these Palmetto games, and there it is, a swing and miss.
Late.
He was late on a 3-0 count. That should be good for the pitchers at home to take note, Throw that fastball over the plate. And here comes a 3-1. This one he's late again, and that's 86 miles an hour. Must be a heavy 86. I talked with Banks earlier about the matchup last night, Dodgers versus the Blue Jays, Max Scherzer versus Clayton Kershaw. And we were talking also with Brian Hucks in game 1, and we were talking about like finishing hitters and 0-2 counts, not wasting pitches and stuff like that. And Max Scherzer, I know, is one of those guys that is not afraid to just throw it right down the middle. That's kind of been his philosophy, and it's worked out really well for him. What's your overall? I know you like picking the corners too, but what's your overall philosophy in 0-0 counts as well as 0-2 counts?
My philosophy is throw the ball over the plate over and over and over again. It's really not that complicated. I know that sounds kind of cheesy or coach speak, but I really and truthfully, in our program, we talk really first pitch strikes, and we want the ball put in play before 3 pitches, and we don't necessarily have guys that are going to be a bunch of 10, 11, 12 strikeouts a game. So we flip the other way. We want to have guys that can be efficient and can get deep into games. And for instance, the Epps boys this year, both of them, I mean, we had 9 or 10 games that were complete games in under 75, 78 pitches, I think, which is, it keeps them in the game. And that's, when you don't have a guy that's going to go out there and punch out 10, and especially in the high school game, you got to make high school hitters hit. And that's just
it makes the game more enjoyable too, right?
I mean, play better defense too.
You play better defense. It's more of like what Abner Doubleday probably envisioned. Nowadays these guys are going out, they're throwing 90 pitches in 5 innings because nobody can hit them.
Yeah.
So they're either walking guys or hitting guys. The old 70, 75, 80 pitch complete game, the old Greg Maddux special, that is those are fun games to watch.
Well, I don't think guys have enough feel to start trying to nibble. We don't have any guys that can do that. Hey, throw this ball 2 balls off the plate. Hey, throw this ball off the plate. Well, we don't have guys that can do that. So we try to do things that they can do and they do well and focus on that, and they do a good job of it.
Anthony Strong right there gets Wickersham for the 2nd time today. And Strong, 2 strikeouts here. Hudson Clark on first base. You got to think he'd be taking off here pretty soon. Good move right there. Good quick move. And that'll bring up Hudson Spravero, Hanahan High School.
I think what you talk about, Coach Bradwell, is keeping things simple. And I think that's, from the outside, that's one of the reasons you're so successful is you don't try to make the game any more complicated than it needs to be. It's tough enough as it is, and I think the more simple you can keep the game and just let your guys play it with freedom. And
what a move right there from Strong. Mentioned it earlier. Good, quick pickoff move. The first time Clark not respecting it or not anticipating a move back, and that's going to be the 2nd time that Clark gets gunned down on the bases. We are through 4 here, but Coach Faulkner, go ahead or everything's tied at 1. Coach Faulkner, go ahead and continue that thought, please.
Yeah, I just think that the more simple you can keep things for your players, especially in the game, the better they're going to perform. And I think Coach is certainly an example of that. And really a lot of respect from this corner for the job that you do over there at Airport.
I appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all's friendship, and thanks for having me on.
Casey Bradwell, thank you so much for joining us. Brian Alderson from North Myrtle Beach will be joining us here shortly when we come back in just a moment.
tight quarters up here.
Yeah,
It's like I'm in a little box.
I like the air conditioning.
Yeah, it feels like an oven when you walk out there. It really is a nice day, but
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's just low to mid 80s, temperature wise.
I wonder if
you
Are we
talk
back?
about you talk about
I think we're back.
you talk about a field guy. This guy's field. That place was a dump.
We are back, folks, and on the mound for Team Orange, that would be Sam Dealman from Lucy Beckham High School, and he is facing Sawyer Smith, a guy that our coach up here in the booth is very familiar with, as we are joined by the head coach from North Myrtle Beach, Brian Alderson. How are you, sir?
Good, good. Nice to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you, North Myrtle Beach High School, some of your players here at the Palmetto games.
Well, you know, obviously, all the kids that are participating in the Palmetto games are they've earned their right to be here. They earned their invitation. So my guys are no different than anybody else's. They work extremely hard, and you know, they're getting rewarded by their hard work.
And
to get an opportunity to come play in front of some people.
And that one right there, skied out to left field. Kind of a late jump right there from Connor Dancer out there, but he is able to come along and make the play. So one down here. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, I was just saying, you know, all these kids work extremely hard. Not just mine, everybody's. So they've earned their right to get the invitation to come participate. And for most of these guys, it's an opportunity to play in front of probably more people, as far as scouts-wise, than they've ever had a chance to before.
And up at the plate now, Logan Newcomb from P27, correct, Banks?
That's right. Two-way guy. Was up to 92 earlier on the mound.
Coastal Carolina commit. All right, Coach, tell us about your season this year. How was everything over there at North Myrtle Beach?
We didn't do what Casey did, but you know, we had another good year. We won the region for the third year in a row, and you know, won 20 games again. I think that's like 4 years in a row, 3 or 4 years in a row, surpassed 20 wins, which I think in high school baseball, if you can get to 20, you've had a good year. And so, yeah, we've had a good year. You know, obviously my college teammate, actually Landy Cox, Berkeley's head coach, he and I played at Gardner Webb together, so he's the one that knocked us out.
Oh, wow. So what is kind of like, or what's working for you up there? Like, that's a pretty proven track record.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, when I first got to North Myrtle Beach, hardly any of them were in the weight room. And, you know, my first year there, I coached football. That was 11 years ago. And I looked over at the baseball field, and it was open season. There was like 2 kids in the batting cage. I said, well, I went to my AD immediately, and I said, Coach, if we're going to turn this baseball program around, I said, I got to be out there with those kids in the fall. I said, these kids got to do it a lot more than they're doing it. And, you know, I've had an administrative team that has worked diligently to get all of our athletes, not just baseball players, to get them in the weight room. So, you know, having an opportunity to have a baseball class and having them both semesters year-round has paid dividends for our program.
So now are you coaching, are you teaching the baseball class?
I do.
Okay, yeah, that's huge. And I think that's just, especially with all these private schools and academies and stuff popping up, you want to keep these good players in the public school system. I would think that having one of those classes, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, or you're gonna lose them. They're gonna start going to, because there's a lot of opportunities for them out there, you know, to go other places. So if you're not able to do those things at your school, then they're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember you were able to have that over at Blythewood there for a little bit, Banks, and
Yeah.
it's very, very good thing. I mean, as a kid, you're a high school kid going through school all day. If you get a baseball class, it almost, to me, would make me excited to want to go to school.
Yeah, I think it's a game changer. I mean, I think the biggest thing, I mean, you get to spend every day. I got to spend 90 minutes with our team every day, and we got to do so much more development, individual type work in the fall. So when the spring got there, it was about, all right, let's teach y'all how to be a team, how to work together, how to play team baseball, and it's a win. I mean, I think academically it helps these kids so much because you know, a lot of days we would start on the field if we weren't lifting, and we'd be off the field at 5 o'clock. And now those kids can go home, they can spend time with their family, they can get their work done, they can get their rest. Which is there's so many good things, and it's really, I think it's a lot more common these days for schools to have that. I mean, it was probably 10, 15 years ago. It was the exception rather to the rule, and I think it's becoming more of a mainstream thing, and I think it's so good on so many levels.
In the box now for Team Gold, Christian Glasgow out of Waccamaw High School. Routine ball to the shortstop here. Picks it up, flips it across for the 6-4 putout. So good outing there from Team Orange. We are through 4.5. We are all knotted at 1. We're going to stay right here with Coach Brian Alderson from North Myrtle Beach High School. Coach, maybe talk about some of the players you have here at the Palmetto Games, their skill sets, and what they mean to your program.
Well, the kid getting ready to throw here for the gold team, he's one of mine, Sawyer Smith, formerly a UNC commit. He's opened his recruitment back up, thinking he's probably going to stay somewhere in state now. He's my everyday shortstop. He's probably, if he's not my best arm, he's my number 2. High character kid. Works, does everything you ask him to do. He's yes sir, no sir, very well spoken, excellent student. I got Gabriel Priest, who started the game for the gold team, left-hander. He's also a 26th grad. He was upper 80s today. Good mix, didn't have a feel for the off-speed today, but it's firm, and it's a sneaky firm. His 87, 88 gets on you quick. And then I got a younger guy, rising sophomore, Andrew Mundy, big kid. He's 6'5", probably 220 or so. He's probably going to be mid to upper 80s as well.
Man.
So pitching's going to be all right for the next couple of years, I think.
So the pitching's going to be good. Talk about a staff there for a high school program out there at North Myrtle Beach. What are we thinking about for this upcoming year? Probably another 20-plus wins?
Well, I mean, I think that's what we feel every time, every season we start. I think, that's one of our goals every year is to win 20, win the region, win 20, get to the postseason, and let's see what happens in the postseason. We've been very fortunate to have arms come through the program. Like we got one at Florida now, one that just left Hawaii is going to West Virginia. One that went to upstate. So we've been very fortunate with arms, and these 3 are just 3. I got 2 or 3 other guys that's upper 80s as well, so we should be okay.
Yeah, I should say. And what about scheduling wise? Do you do anything unique with your schedule, or
we're fortunate where we live in Horry County. We have one of the biggest spring break tournaments in the country every year. It used to be the Mingo Bay Invitational, now it's the South Atlantic Bank Invitational. So we got teams from all over the place: New York, New Jersey, West Virginia, Maryland. We've played Gonzaga and
man, good pick
Bishop
over there.
O'Connell and all these teams, prep schools out of DC, and they all come to this tournament. So that's one thing that's probably a little unique for us.
Well, Sawyer Smith records the first out there as he gets a ground ball. Tristan Quick on the pickup out there at shortstop, and a great pick from the pitcher last inning. Over there now at first base, Anthony Strong. We are with Coach Brian Alderson from North Myrtle Beach High School. So, being at the beach, do y'all utilize the beach for fun or for baseball-type activities? And is there any good surfers on the team?
I think I got a few. Most of them, I think, would rather hunt and fish.
Okay.
But I think I got 1 or 2 that may grab a surfboard every now and again. But as far as utilizing the beach, we do it once a year. I have basically, how most of the colleges do, like an Omaha Challenge. We do the same, very similar to what they do. And on the last day, we have a beach run, which is a distance run on the beach. And you better hope you catch it at low tide, because high tide's not fun to run in with soft sand. So that's something that we do every year.
And what is the distance?
2 miles.
2 miles. Okay, so a lot of these coaches are going away from distance type running, but you're still a believer.
No. We the only reason we do it during our off-season conditioning program is because I'm prior military. I used to be in 82nd Airborne Division, so we done a lot of distance running. And one thing you realize when you distance run is it's mental toughness, because the body's gonna want to quit on you. And so the only thing keeping you going is what's between your ears. But the majority of the time we're doing sprint work like everybody, short burst stuff like everybody else. The only reason we even implement distance is for that reason.
Yeah, I love that. And for just general discipline. But you know what I'm talking about. I mean, back in the day, coaches had their guys out there running.
Back when I played, I thought I was signed up to run cross country instead of play baseball.
I actually read something the other day that was interesting to me, because I read the same stuff you guys read, but I actually read something. It was a guy that was, I don't know if he's still at LSU, but he spent some time with LSU as a one of these strength and conditioning guys, and he was actually saying there's a lot of value in running some poles, like not an everyday thing, but some just overall conditioning. And I completely agree with Coach that I agree. I think it builds some mental toughness, and that's where, touching on what Coach Bradwell talked about, is I used to tell guys all the time, like, you win championships in the weight room in the off season, because when you're sitting there in a plank and you got to go for
this ball's hit really well out to left field, and it is a no doubter to left field. Sterling Coaxum knew it off the bat too, which was a little surprising to me, especially since the ball really has not been traveling. But that was just an all-speed pitch, kind of hung up there, and what a swing from Coaxum. I don't think you'll have to face him this year, though, Coach.
No, I don't think so. Well, he's going to committed to Clemson. Where's he play at?
Yeah, P27.
He was.
No, we don't play that. Was he?
So good swing of the bat right there. Definitely the furthest hit ball so far of this tournament.
It might have been a little bittersweet for Coach Hunter over there, shaking his hand as he rounded third.
Yeah. I've been doing this for me.
And who's up now? Casey, number 6. That'll be Connor Dantzler from James Allen High School.
One of about 10 players they have here.
Very familiar with them. Before we changed classifications, we played them every year, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something, Coach, that I've always said. You have to. Coach Bradwell just won one. He'd agree. You have to have some breaks. You have to have some good fortune, whether it's pitching matchups, weather, bouncing balls, whatever, to win a state title. But I think I've always looked at your program from a distance, and it's been a lot of respect, because you're one of those guys every year that your team's in the mix every single year. And I think the stars line up right. You win one, and but you're in the mix every single year. And I think that, to me, is the mark of a good program. Is, are you there in the mix every year, not just do you win one and then you become irrelevant for 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, we believe so. We've had, like I said, we've had several good arms run through the program, which helps. And we're usually going to be sound defensively. And last year we struggled at the plate a little bit, especially late. But I believe if you can pitch and play defense, you got a chance to win them all.
Amen.
Before we let you go here, who would you say is your best offensive player?
Coming back, returning?
Yeah.
Probably Sawyer Smith, my shortstop. We got some other guys, but he's probably the guy for us. We lost quite a few. We lost Chad Oxendine's son, CJ, who's going to Virginia Tech. He was our best offensive guy last year, but he's gone now, so we got to replace him. But
what's your philosophy on batting order? Where are you going to hit your best player?
Well, I used to believe 3-hole if I got somebody in the 4 to protect him a little bit, because I definitely want my best guy coming to the plate in the first inning. But the last couple of years, like CJ, I've hit him 1 or 2 just because I knew he was going to get pitches to hit. And Sawyer's probably been my 3-hole hitter the last couple of years. But to answer your question, I hit CJ probably lead in one hole the last 2 years.
It's always been my belief is, and I'm the same way. My belief has always been I cannot end the game with my best hitter in the on deck circle. So the more ABs I can get him, the better.
Absolutely.
And Andy Hallett was doing that before anybody was, and people thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
Remember, he hit David Hauser leadoff, and David's hit 15 home runs, but he sort of was a little bit of a trendsetter.
In 2003.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach Alderson, you want to stay with us another inning?
It's up to you guys, man. If you got somebody else waiting.
Stay with us another half inning. It's Trey Dyson here on the call alongside Banks Faulkner. We are joined by North Myrtle Beach High School head coach Brian Alderson, calling the action here from the 18th annual Palmetto Games here at Riley Park in Sumter, South Carolina. Thanks to the home run from Sterling Coaxum, Team Orange, Team Southwest leads this 2-1. And Mike Johnson is back in the box. We were talking about his dad, Michael Johnson, earlier. What a stud. Left-handed stud from Clemson back in the day.
A better person than he was a player.
I don't know about that. As good little change up there from new pitcher from Wando, Matthew Orgzwala. If I pronounce that wrong, I do apologize. But big lefty on the mound. Good strikeout there against Johnson to start the inning.
Coach Alderson, I got a question. I'm curious. I like to try to learn from coaches that have been in the game a while. What's the biggest difference you see now in players versus? I know this is a very open-ended question, but what's the biggest difference you see between players now and maybe think back to when you started?
Well, they're playing a lot more travel and showcase. They're playing 2/3 of their baseball calendar year with somebody else, and I get them a third at a time. But we continue to work year round, even though we're not in season per se. I think that's the biggest difference is they're playing 2/3 of their baseball calendar year with their showcase team or travel team, and a third with us. So, a part of the game is probably going away for everybody. It's not going away at North Myrtle Beach as small ball, hitting behind runners, and because they're not doing that 2/3 of the year. So to get them to buy-in of putting the ball on the carpet and making other teams play defense it's like a dinosaur. Some of your better programs still do it. We have to because we just don't have enough pop in the lineup to survive any other way. Other than that, I think these kids are a lot bigger, faster, and stronger than they were 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. I think this is year 26 for me. We lifted, but mostly it was because we were in a football weightlifting class back then, and these guys are specializing a lot more now, even outside of school and outside of their high school practices, a lot more today than they ever have.
What's your view on travel baseball?
I think it's good to a certain extent. My honest opinion, I think if you're good enough, I'm still kind of old school. I think if you're good enough, you'll have opportunities to be seen. I really do. I think if you can go to camp, especially if you're an arm, and you can touch 90, 92, and go to Clemson's camp, go to South Carolina's camp, go to Coastal's camp, and if you're that guy, you can get an offer out of there just as easy as you can at a showcase event.
Dorenzo pokes that one through the middle, and a tough little hop out there. He's going to get on base with a E6. That's going to bring up Luke Kessler, St. James High School. Continue, Coach.
What's it like, Coach? What's it like having a program like Coastal Carolina, has played for the national championship 2 out of the last, 9 or 10 years? What's it mean to have a program like that in your backyard?
Well, it's awesome. It's a whole lot easier to go watch them play, and their staff, very, very approachable with high school coaches in our area. They'll reach out to us, and if we reach out to them, they're going to answer the phone. They're going to return your phone calls or shoot you emails and texts. They're inviting kids to camps and plus it's extremely good baseball. So it's really nice to just take a 40-minute drive down the road and watch them play. And plus, like I said, Coach Oxendine at Coastal that took over in the World Series when all that chaos happened in the first inning. You know, his son's played for me since he was in the 6th grade, or 7th grade.
So he stayed, and even though, because Chad left, right,
Chad
and went
left.
to Longwood.
Yep, got the head job at Longwood, came back when Coach Snall got the head job at Coastal. But CJ lived with his mom.
I didn't realize that.
And
okay, good.
So he's been with me the whole time.
Yeah, those Coastal coaches, I tell you what, they put their time in the weight room. That's a.
Yes.
I was out in Omaha. That's a staff that they lift some weights.
Well, if you look at them, you can tell they lifting it too. So they all put together pretty good.
That's going to bring up Gatlin Pasco from Carolina Forest. Good piece of hitting his first at bat.
Good player.
Single and an RBI. You know about this guy?
He plays at Carolina Forest there in our region. Plays shortstop for Coach Reiser down at Carolina Forest. Extremely good player. He was our spark plug. One whole guy. You can tell he's their team guy, their leader.
1-1 count here after that, I'd say, questionable strike call. Off-speed pitch here taken down, so a chance for him to drive in another run.
Is that scoreboard right, Trey? Is the Southwest team still hitless?
I got one hit.
No, they hit a home run. That was one
They
hit.
hit a home run.
Yeah, so we got a scoreboard operator's a little asleep at the wheel over there.
He was watching the Braves.
Watching the Braves. Oof.
Are the Braves playing right now?
It's a glutton for punishment this year.
I know.
It's been a tough year in Hotlanta.
So Matthew Orgzwala, Wando High School, pounding the zone here a little bit. Defense not helping him out a ton here. Trying to get out of the jam. This ball's hit off the end of the bat, back up the middle. Another chance for the shortstop. Low throw, good pick over there from Finn Pratt from James Allen High School, picking it out of the dirt. So Team Orange gets out of trouble there, and Team Southwest leads it, which is Team Orange, 2-1. Coach Alderson, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you again.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Great to
Appreciate
see
you having me on.
brother. Yes, sir.
We'll be back right after this. And we're back, everyone. Coach Alderson from North Myrtle Beach just joined us. We appreciate that. And another one is of his players, right-handed pitcher Andrew Mundy, taking the mound here in the bottom of the sixth. Are we already in the bottom of the sixth? Sam Middleton from Hilton Head Prep taking his chance against Mundy. Gotta love Coach Alderson, huh?
Yeah, he's one of the good guys, for sure. A lot of respect.
Yeah, seems like he's really got that program under control there at North Myrtle Beach. What a fun place probably to play high school baseball too, I would assume.
Yeah, a lot of it interested me when he said a lot of his guys hunt and fish. I don't think of North Myrtle Beach as being a hunting and fishing mecca, but maybe it is.
Yeah, Coach Bradwell from Airport High School knows a thing about hunting and fishing. A lot of hunters and fishers on that team, I can guarantee you that. So there's a walk there to Sam Middleton, so he'll be on first base. And Brody Tuthill will step into the box, a 2027 middle infielder from Ashley Ridge High School. Thanks for joining us, folks, for the 18th annual Palmetto Games. Couple good plays this game so far. Unbelievable play out there in right field earlier by, I forgot.
That was Rivers, Henry Rivers.
Henry Rivers out there in
Berkeley.
right field with an outstanding double play as the runner takes off. Throw down, good throw, but a little late, and Middleton will get a stolen base.
What do y'all think? I mean, this is well off topic, but I'll explain why I ask it. What do y'all think about so much more baseball being played on turf these days?
I like it. I like the turf because it's
Spoken like a true infield guy.
yeah. Well, as this one skied out to center fielder under it, and there will be no tag, but. Once again, I go back to the roots and think about what Abner Doubleday was thinking in his head. I don't think he was thinking of bad hops. And turf, there's no bad hops on turf. Plus, there's no maintenance. Now, if I was a yard guy and a guy who loved to do the field and stuff like that, of course, tradition is grass and stuff like that. But as someone who coached at North Greenville with an all-turf field, talk about never having to worry about doing anything on the field. It was a dream. For the players and the coaching staff. That's my take.
You're also a hitter.
Yeah.
And it speeds it up. I like the grass. It's more true to me. It slows the game down a little bit, and it plays into what we do, obviously.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because you see this a lot on turf. I was watching the kids slide. You have to almost practice sliding on turf because you will slide right past the bag, so it becomes a deal where you have to slide a little early, and you almost need to teach your guys to just grab the bag when they slide, or they're going to come off of it.
A lot of like when we play in the upstate, a couple of those places have turf, and we have to go practice on the football field.
Yeah,
it's a different game, and you can get yourself caught up in some things that you're not used to.
Yeah, I used to, as this one's bounced to the backstop, and runner will advance to third base. But when I was at North Greenville, one of the only turf college fields in South Carolina, whenever it would rain, everyone would always slide past the bag. There would be someone that would slide past the bag, but normally not our guys. Normally the opponents would, and it would be a thing where we'd get a guy, if it was even damp even a little bit.
Did y'all practice sliding on it?
Well, I would just yell the entire time as this ball's grounded out to short. Shortstop picks it up, makes a nice athletic throw to get the out. A run will come home thanks to the legs of Sam Middleton, who scooted around the bases right there. And Team Southwest gets another run on the board. But during the game, I would say stuff like this in the dugout. I'd say, who's going to slide past the bag and get tagged out after the play's over? It's kind of a passive-aggressive way to make them understand not to slide past the bag. You like that strategy?
I do, and I think as a coach, you have to really emphasize with your infielders to really carry the tag out and hold the tag because they may slide past the bag.
Exactly.
But I think another thing that, Case, I'm sure you deal with a lot is, a lot of your players, like we were talking with Coach Alderson, they're playing travel baseball. And, I've found in coaching travel baseball that probably half your games in the summer are on turf. Mm-hmm. Well, 95% of your games in high school, if not more, are going to be on a natural surface. And so there was always a period I remember back to being at Blythewood and dealing with the same thing. I think about Ty Dooley, a guy that most people know. He would always struggle coming back and having to play on a natural surface. He would
So
want
much
to
slower.
sit. He would want to sit, and so it was almost like you had to sort of reprogram him to play in on that natural
Fun
surface.
go, man, reprogram on it.
Man, that
Turn that timer on.
yeah.
I did it
I
yesterday.
wouldn't share that with too many people. It's an advantage.
Great little sequence right there from Andrew Monday to retire the side. And we are going to head off already to the top of the 7th inning, the last inning here at the Palmetto Games. Trey Dyson, Banks Faulkner, Casey Bradwell back in the booth. Folks, thanks for joining us. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, as we begin here the top of the 7th inning. Team Southwest is winning this game, and if they are winning after the top of the 7th, they will hit during the bottom of the 7th. Brewer Cannon from Conway High School in the box. Orgzwala, good, well-located fastball right there. Here comes the 0-2. Up and away fastball. Good job by the catcher there, making that pitch look very presentable. This pitch down and away, so it evens up at 2-2. All these pitchers have worked extremely fast. This good little breaking ball in there for strike 3 froze the hitter. That's when the hitter, Brewer Cannon, just gave up on it out of the hand, thinking it was going to be up and away. Plops right back in there for strike 3. So nice job. Nice sequence there from Orgzwala. Up now, Anthony Strong from Sherrall. He's had a pretty good game. He pitched an inning earlier, made a nice play at first base. Here he is in the batter's box. Comes the 1-0. Got one to hit. And we've seen that a lot. Some of these hitters are getting some pitches to hit, but not quite getting the barrel to the ball.
Hitting's hard, Trey.
Yeah,
Hitting's hard.
It's hard. It's especially when you're working away, then their eyes, they get moved out there, and they're not ready for it when it comes in there. Good little breaking ball right there. So 2-strike count here. Orgzwala's got a chance to continue to keep cruising here. He's looked good out there on the mound, as most of the pitchers in this game. And a beautifully well-located outside fastball coming in at 87 miles an hour for back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the 7th. Matthew Orgzwala, Wando High School. What do you like about him, Banks or Casey? 2 pitching guys up here with me.
Yeah, I think he does what a good left-handed pitcher does. He sort of lives out on the open side. I think think he'll come in when necessary, and he mixes his pitches. I mean, that's the name of the game in today's where baseball is today. We talked about that earlier with Coach Hucks. You're not gonna just throw 90 by guys anymore. So you've got, unless you just have a unique fastball, you've got to mix and match and change speeds, and he's done a nice job of it.
Yeah, he's a big guy too. He's coming at you. Reminds me a little bit of another Clemson name of the past, a guy our age, Banks. Remember old Thomas Boozer, left-handed pitcher from Richland Northeast High School?
I sure do. Thomas had a really good career.
This pitch, well-located pitch again, out to the shortstop, takes his time, going to be close, but he gets him.
Yeah, so we're headed to the bottom half here. Coach Dyson, I think, had maybe something go down the wrong pipe up here. Medical staff might be needed. No, he's okay. We're just kidding with him. But, yeah, been a nice game here, nice quick game. Good pitching on both sides. A lot of good baseball, a lot of good talent out here today, all around. So we'll play another half inning. We'll reset it, and we'll have the nightcap be coming to you probably, I would guess, a couple hours after the conclusion of this game. We've got the Northeast versus the Northwest. It'll be a lot of guys from the upstate. A lot of good baseball up in those areas. You've got Spartanburg schools, Greenville County schools. I think Daniel High School has got 4 or 5 players here. So looking forward to continuing to see good baseball.
Sorry about that, folks. Something definitely went down the wrong pipe there, but we are here. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. A new pitcher on the mound for the Southeast. Jad Binfield from Midland Valley will take the mound. And some really good pitching overall this game. For the Southwest, Charles Becker really got them off to a great start. Looked outstanding for Team Orange, the right-hander from James Island. Braxton Sharehouse had a good outing, and Orgswalla from Wando. 2 really good innings. So Team Orange has already won this game, but they will get their chance to hit as Henry Rivers, who made an unbelievable play earlier in right field, set to come to the plate here. Good little breaking ball right there from Jad Binfield, starting off his outing here at the 2025 Palmetto Games. Another strike, swing and miss. So far in the first 2 games, today Team Gold has 4 committed players. Team Orange, 2 committed players.
Yeah, and I think that's a sign of the times. I think that's why I think this event, as good as it's always been, is maybe a little bit more important in the recruiting process because, I mean, I can remember just thinking back as recently as maybe 3-4 years ago, you were going to have over half of these rosters was going to be committed, but you see it now. I mean, there's not a lot of committed guys. I think there may be 2 committed guys in the 2027 class, whereas before you were going to have a couple dozen probably committed. I would expect that number to rise as you leave here today or get through this weekend. But really, the number of 26 players that are uncommitted coming to this event and really good players, not guys that are borderline guys at all, just guys that are looking for the right fit. And I think in some ways that's good for the game, because I think it's gonna make sure the kid or the player out of high school is maybe in the right program versus a program taking a chance on a player as a freshman and then it not ended up being a good fit. I think what you'll see more is you'll see these guys that go to a school maybe stay at that school versus getting there and being gone and looking for a new home, so quickly.
Yeah, lots of movement now in the college world. Team players transferring 2, 3, 4 times. This ball's hit over to the right side, and that's going to get under the glove of Bryce Oliver over there at first base. So, not sure how scorekeeper's going to score that one up here in the booth.
I'm scoring that.
That's an error on the first baseman.
Yeah, the official score, I guess, I don't know if that's you, Casey, or maybe the guy. Yeah, he scored it a hit. I would have to disagree with that. I think that's a routine play that he would probably tell you that he should have made that play.
So Brady Dantzler from James Island High School comes in. Swing and miss. Little off-speed pitch there. From Jad Benfield, Midland Valley. And Midland Valley, or I'm thinking about Mid-Carolina, Caden Myers from, I think he's going to college at Charleston.
Yeah, very good arm.
Yeah, he had an outstanding performance here in the Palmetto games last year. And I think Coach Holbrook got himself a good one in him.
I do too.
There goes the runner. Takes off. Here comes the throw down. Not going to be in time. And that is a stolen base. You were talking about turf. Now, that's dirt infield. They got a grass infield here, right?
They have everything's natural. All of foul territory. The warning track is artificial. The baselines, the plate is artificial. So sort of a unique setup. Very good for maintenance.
There's an 88-mile-an-hour fastball poured in there to Matthew Oxwala, Wando High School, getting a chance to add something on here. Oxwala, 2 really good innings on the mound. This one's fouled away. Biggest hit of this game belongs to Sterling Coaxum from P27, the first home run of these Palmetto games. I think he hit it with a wood bat, too. I might be mistaken on that one.
That makes it even more impressive.
This one's hit to the right side. Another chance over there by Bryce Oliver, and he redeems himself. So good play there. Good little PFP here to end Game 2 of the Palmetto games, as Team Southwest is going to win this one 3-1 behind some strong pitching, some outstanding defense, and a couple of big swings of the bat. So overall thoughts on this one, Banks?
Yeah, another game that was dominated by the pitching. I mean, it's wild to me that you see, 88 to 90 is becoming more and more commonplace in today's game. That's going to tend to favor the pitching and the defense more than the hitters, especially a lot of these hitters. I think if there's a little, I don't know. I don't know if the timing of this game, I think maybe it could stand to be a little earlier. I think there's a little gap maybe between the end of these guys playing summer ball, and some of these guys hadn't maybe seen live pitching in 2 or 3 weeks, and then you step in the box and you're facing some of the best arms in the state. I think that's going to always favor the pitchers.
Yep, pitching dominated this game indeed. So for Game 2, we want to thank all of our special guests this game. We had Casey Bradwell, state champion coach from Airport High School, join us. Coach, a longtime legendary coach, South Carolina, Dale Nelson joined us. In North Myrtle Beaches, Brian Alderson joined us. So we thank you for all that. We plan on bringing you many more guests as we come along here in the 2025 Athletic Palmetto Games. So for Banks Faulkner, I'm Trey Dyson. We will see you here for Game 3 in an hour or two. Take care.